Hey guys, make sure to hop on up to the main.
All right, welcome in to the Texas Motor Speedway tonight. Race number 6 of the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Cup Series tonight. Properly named the For Racers Only TV 250, as we are getting ready to award some money coming up here this evening at the Texas Motor Speedway, the Great American Speedway, for race number 6. Chris Gall in the booth alongside the guy that filled in for me last night in the number 8 For Racers Only TV car. Started on the pole, made me look like crap in qualifying, and did a pretty good job for the most part. Unfortunately, involved some incidents, but he's here tonight in the booth eating all the cupcakes he can, and that's Brett Pancari, who I'm talking about. Brett, what's going on, buddy?
Well, now hold on, because I don't eat. I said I won't eat your cupcakes. I'll just eat a bunch of chips. But no, I just got off running race earlier at Bristol, and yeah, it was a tough night, something for you, but over now and ready to move on and see what's gonna happen tonight.
Well, I think we got a good race in our hands tonight as we go for 250 laps, 375 miles. So it's going to be a pretty long distance race for these guys, but these guys are ready.
Yeah, they pretty much already. I even ran a race with these guys at Vegas, and for Xtreme Motor, it's pretty much what the cream of the crop, basically, for this Cup Series. So you're gonna see some of the best out there tonight.
And, of course, entering this race, there's a win streak that those drivers are trying to stop right now. It's one Jeffrey Creek, who has won 3 in a row, going for 4 in a row this evening. He's won last 3 races. Phoenix Auto Club in Martinsville looking for the 4-peat tonight here at Texas. Now, needless to say, he's not been the fastest in practice or in qualifying, but he's still got a pretty good shot here to win this race. He's one that knows how to keep his car clean.
And for this track here, it's pretty important to keep your car clean, especially with the clocker we got here tonight. It's going to really make the car almost invincible on the short runs, but they're going to have to manage their tires, especially on the longer run. They're going to get extremely tight, but that doesn't mean that the car won't get loose out of turn 2 as well, because that's probably the key corner, is turn 2.
And that's because that track just comes down to turn 2 and the banking just falls out. It goes from 24 to about 5, and that can upset your car and send you spinning. But this grip you mentioned tonight could definitely change things. All of a sudden you get a tight car, and then you got a tight loose car, and you could have all kinds of issues around this tricky Texas Motor Speedway. So I know you and I got some racing on it this week. You and I both ran the truck race earlier this week, finished top 6, both of us, and then obviously last night you ran the Xfinity race, finishing 24th, if I remember correctly, and then tonight we got the Cup race. And should be a good one coming up here in a few minutes. If race is only 250, what's going to happen tonight is a random driver who I get to pick. Whoopee! And that person will win $10 randomly. So I wonder if I'm eligible for this. Well, that'd be interesting.
No, you're not.
Oh, darn. Anyways, but we'll pick a driver later on this evening after the 250 laps and go from there. But right now the drivers are in a meeting, so we'll step away for a quick second here, and we'll come back with the starting lineup and the start of the race here on For Racers Only TV. Stick around. All right, back we are here at Texas Motor Speedway. So get ready for the Racers Only TV 250 here at the Great American Speedway, Xtreme Motorsports99.com. And their Cup Series about to go racing here for 375 miles. Should be a lot of fun coming up here in a few minutes. Brett Pancari joins me again in the booth tonight. The Blue Goose, as Rick Donathan's called him, but I always know him as Brett. And obviously the grip tonight is going to make for some good racing early. And what do you think? Do you expect to see the cars spread out later on in the run as the tires wear?
I would think so. The car will spread out as the tires wear off, and will definitely show who will be good at saving their tires. But something tells me on the short, if we get the short runs and restarts, everyone's gonna be fighting for like an inch, I think, out there, because the grip is just so there. These guys are gonna have a lot more confidence on the short runs.
Absolutely, and that's going to make it a fun race here to be a part of. So let's check out the starting lineup for tonight's race. Hugo Lidner going to start on the pole. The only man to break a 27.916. That's pretty fast when you look at it. Daniel Eberhardt will start second. William Amaker, the man who won that race last night by 6 1/1000ths of a second. We'll talk about that coming up. He'll start alongside Brian Smith, Ken Baum Jr., Rick Donathan. He'll be in row number 3. Aaron Richard, James Gagne. He'll be in row number 4. Row 5, Tyler Herr, William Hale, Jason Stout, William Long in row number 6, Jonathan Shipman and Mike Rominger in row number 7, row 8, Danny Sanchez and Josh Lambert, who I got confused a lot with last night with another Josh Ward, that is. Dylan Bird, Nate Trito, Jeffrey Creek with a super fast 3-minute 21-second lap. Chad Osborne, Justin Walter, they're going to be the only ones in here. Justin McWhinney got kicked from the room earlier, so as we get ready. So a pretty good grid tonight. Looks like 21 cars are going to start in this Cup Series, and I know this is the best of the best in this Xtreme Motorsports 99 series.
Yeah, like I said, these are some of the top guys out here, and they've been here before in leagues previous, so we're probably in for a pretty good show tonight.
Oh, I agree 100%. Surprised. I say Rick is running out there. I was like, I don't see Rick's car out there, but I must have missed him just a second ago. But nonetheless, cars roll off. Again, tonight a random driver going to get $10 thanks to us at Racers Only TV. We're going to hook them up with $10 in random cash tonight. We're just going to pick a random driver. And I'll do it the way I always do it. Just go to random.org is what I'm going to do and go from there. All right, 250 miles, or 250 laps, 375 miles of racing. Going to be a pretty long night here as we double the laps in distance from the last 2 nights here with the Cup Series. That is race number 6 of the Xtreme Motorsports99.com Cup Series. One final time this season, at least for now, on For Racers Only TV. Pace car going to hang a left right about now. It'll be Hugo Lidner, Daniel Eberhardt, leading on the green in Texas. Already off turn 4, everybody almost single file. And Hugo Lidner going to lead lap 1, picking up right where he left off in practice. He was the fastest in practice, the fastest in qualifying, and now he leads lap 1 here at Texas. Daniel Eberhardt, William Amaker, Brian Smith, William Hale, your top 5.
Hale's in a fight with James Gagne. He lost the 5th spot, but Gagne gave him back the inside line. With Hale on the inside in turn 3, and now it's going to allow the door perhaps for Ken Baum Jr., but I said with the grip there, it's going to allow guys on the high side to at least stay with the guys on the bottom. So as Gagne took the 5th spot back that time, but now that low line in turn 1 gives the advantage for Hale. And now Ken Baum's going to get on the inside. And now Aaron Richard there inside for look to pounce as well.
Yeah, that bottom side is the fastest around 1 and 2. You do not want to be on the high side in 1 and 2 at all. And that's where you see Gagne at right now, and he is trying to fight for his life. You see Richard kind of slide up the track. That's going to allow Gagne to get right there in line. as he will fall back. It looks like Baum will get by him, the Toyota number 2, moving up a position. One car looked like got the wall back there.
Yeah, he almost got the wall, William Long did, and he lost 3 spots out of turn 2. I mean, he gets back in line.
Great racing up at the start, and Daniel Eberhardt putting the pressure on Lindner up front. We're watching this battle with Gagne and Aaron Richard. Richard going to go by. Now the 97 going to fill the hole of Tyler Herr, subbing in for Darren Sizemore tonight. Tyler Herr, the point leader, and the guy who came a foof of an inch from winning last night's Xfinity race. Well, let's see tonight if we can get more than 10 laps of racing before a caution. Last night we definitely had issues with that, but nonetheless, head to finish, that definitely made up for it.
Yeah, definitely a great finish last night, even though, yeah, it was a bit of a carnage fest there, but as I mentioned before, it is sometimes an unfortunate part of sim racing, and sometimes you gotta roll with it, but hopefully, like you said, we'll definitely get long green flag runs.
Looks like Gagne going to finally fill the gap right there in front of Tyler Herr in the 97. Meanwhile, back up front, Eberhardt trailing Lindner barely, just a couple tenths back. From first to second, third place, William Amaker. I about pulled what everybody says, Amaker. It's Amaker. But William riding right there in the third position as we jump on board and ride around the Texas Motor Speedway to 69. A lot of hanging RPMs from these cars. I think maybe below 8,000, and then the rest they are just revving.
No, you're kind of hearing there with William on the throttle. You usually can get on the throttle a lot harder, especially with the cloud cover, but normally at Texas, you kind of have to feather the throttle. It almost get like half to 3/4, especially in 1 and 2, because the car in 1 tends to get tight in the middle part of the corner and then loose off, so kind of have to play with the throttle, but with this grip level, that may not be as much of an issue tonight.
Good battle back here between foods. We got a restaurant, Applebee's car of William Long inside the Doritos, number 21 of Josh Lambert. Matter of fact, back here is the Outback, number 4. So if you're hungry, this is the battle you're watching right now. The battle for the 11th, 12th, and 13th positions. You mentioned William Long a little bit earlier, struggling, maybe got a piece of the wall, but he's hanging in there right there in the 11th position. And I don't see any damage on the 11 car, so he's definitely in good shape right now. As you see, Rominger going to make a move inside of Lambert here in the 12th position.
And it looks like he'll take the position away fairly easily. So move Rominger up to the 12th spot, and majority of the field is pretty much single file, and Hugo Lindner has put himself a little more distance between himself and Eberhardt.
As they go back to check on your point leader, Jeffrey Creek started about mid-pack, and that's exactly where he rides right now. 16th position for the 42. Again, going for the 4-peat tonight. Won the last 3 races, Phoenix, Auto Club, Martinsville. As he won them all, and now he's going for Texas tonight. Obviously, got plenty of time. Still 238 laps to get up there to the front this evening. There's going to be at least 4 pit stops tonight. So maybe 3, actually, when you do the math correctly. So about 3 or so stops as Jeffrey Creek looks to extend that point lead this evening.
Checking back on the front 3, it looks like William Amaker, he started to kind of make a little bit of a presence. He started closing on Eberhardt, but now Eberhardt is kind of regrouped and he's starting to catch back up to Hugo Lindner, so could be a potential fight for the lead on our hands here.
Hey, Hugo might have worn those tires out just a little bit there, and that's allowing Daniel to get this run. He's right there in his back bumper.
Ryan Smith in the 34. He's also hanging on there in this group as well.
Well, 40's car is doing a great job, and then you got a pack of about 5 or 6 back there at about 5th place. But everybody just riding and logging laps. That's all you can do right now. When you're only 15 laps in, just log laps. You can't win it on lap 15, but you can lose it.
Tyler Hurd on the inside of William Hale for 5th place. Took a bit of a late look, but he had to run out of 2. And doesn't clear him quite yet, and now he will. So move Tyler Hurd, something for Darren Sidemore tonight, up to 5th. Hale almost fought him across the number, but he's going to stay back in line.
And Gagne going to go by Ken Baum Jr., so move the that car in the 05 up a spot as he passes by Ken Baum Jr. I'm so used to Ken being in a Coors Light car tonight, driving a Toyota car. Different paint scheme there for the number 2.
Going back a ways to about 12, 13, 14. We got a bit of a pack forming here. Rick Donovan, William Long, Josh Lambert, Danny Sanchez, and Jeffrey Krieg. Kind of starting to get a little bit of a pack here.
Yeah, these guys are going to put on a good little battle here as those tires start to wear out. Rominger about got the wall there off of 2. But yeah, these 5 here, Donovan running his first Cup race tonight. That Firehouse Subs Ford Fusion. You got the Fusion of the William Long. You got Chevy of Josh Lambert, the Chevy of Danny Sanchez, and the Chevy of Jeffrey Krieg. All Fords and Chevys here battling as Krieg's going to pick a nose underneath Sanchez. And just like that, he'll take the spot away as Lambert makes a move. So Jeffrey Krieg's going to break up the food brigade here. We had the Firehouse Subs car, the Applebee's car, the Doritos car, and the Outback car all here in line with each other.
And we just got a pass for the number 2 spot. William Amaker just got by Daniel Eberhardt, and he looks like he's going to try his best to try to challenge Hugo Linder.
Amaker, last night's winner at Texas, 6 1/1000ths of a second. You saw the race there on For Races Only TV last night, beating Tyler Hurd on a attempted last lap pass, and Amaker was able to get him at the line. What a finish it was. If I could show it to you, I would, but unfortunately I can't. And Linder's starting to put some distance again, but this draft, when you have grip in these tires like you do right now, the draft plays a role because you're able to suck right up that other car, and what they call that draft lock, as you hear that term sometimes when you run like the trucks or Xfinity cars at a track like this. That's what you kind of see in these Cup cars.
Well, yeah, the draft does play a little bit of a role, but it wasn't not quite as big as we say like at a Daytona or Dega. So yes, the draft is there, but it's not quite as important. Or even it's like the same thing as you're running an IndyCar. I mean, in an IndyCar, you get a big, giant run, but these Cup cars, even the truck and nationwide cars, like you said, there is a bit of a draft, but it isn't really as big.
Let's take a look at a good battle here. William Hale's in here. The 2 of Ken Baum Jr. You see Rominger making a pass on Jason Stout. And a bunch of cars right here in this pack. This is about 7th place back to almost 11th or so right in this pack of cars. And it looks like nobody's really able to get away from anybody.
No, and Ken Baum Jr. just got by William Hale. So move him up to 8th. And now it looks like Rominger might set his sights on William Hale, so maybe Hale may have wore those tires out already.
Yeah, he's definitely having a hard time keeping that car on the bottom. Back up front, you see Lindner's led him all 23 laps tonight. And you see the 69 there of Amaker. Now he's under attack from Eberhard, who's trying to get 2nd place back. Brian Smith's starting to fall back, and you see Tyler Hurd, last night's runner-up and the Xfinity champion from last season, right there in the 5th spot. Aaron Richards 6th. You got Gagne there 7th. You got Ken Baum Jr. in the 8th position. And this battle back here for 9th. Rominger, slowly but surely, might be the car on the move here.
Yeah, he started 14th, and he's gained about 4 spots so far, and maybe make it 5 here as he comes up on William Hale.
You see Jeffrey Creed gaining another spot to move him up to the 12th position. Make that 13th as he got by William Long. Rominger looking there on the bottom. He's got the nose underneath there, and Hale might have to give this up into 3. We'll have to see. One thing I did see last night. One thing I did see in the Xfinity race, and as a matter of fact, I didn't see you make this move, but a lot of people did, was the move into turn 3, where it seemed like a lot of people were missing the entrance of the corner, and it seemed like that was causing a bunch of the wrecks.
Well, turn 3 is a little easier than 1 and 2, as you see Hale drop 3 spots there. It's kind of easy to go in there a little too deep and have the faint drift up the hill. You kind of have to let off a little bit earlier in turn 3, I find, than it is in turns 1 and 2. It is easier to hold the car on the bottom or even on the top side than it is in turns 1 and 2. So.
And everybody has their different approach of getting into the corners. I know the way I enter that corner, I always use that last line and try to angle it right into the corner so I don't miss it. Because I know plenty of times in practice where I've hit somebody, I've done that move, gone into 3 and just forgot to turn, and everybody else is turning. And I'm like, oops, trouble, turn 3, caution's out. Hope you're okay. But, yeah, we don't want to see that tonight, though.
And that is like a good thing. Like, a lot of these drivers have some drivers have different ways of getting around corners. Like for myself, the Amaker caught the apron. He got big time loose. But I was checking up on the front 3 here, and that's going to allow Eberhardt to come inside. But usually, like someone like me, I kind of let off like a lot earlier than a lot of the other guys do. Sure, I may get killed on the end of the corners, but it's better like on the middle off. So, but then, like I said, there's always different ways to approach a similar problem.
So Eberhardt up to second. Hugo Lindner's led all the laps so far this evening from the pole. And he's done a fairly good job. I mean, he showed the speed in practice. He was the only car to run a 27 in qualifying. So he definitely showed that he had the speed tonight in that 77. And he's showing it 3/4 of the way through this first run as Amaker's going to make a move on Eberhardt here for second. And Eberhardt just lets him go.
We got trouble in the backstretch. William Long has hit the inside wall, and the yellow's out for the first time.
Ooh, the Applebee's car. Smoking like one of those fajitas you get at the table.
I know a similar restaurant that has that.
There's plenty. Let's see what happens. Oh, him and the 61 of Stout come together. Oh, and he hits that inside wall hard. Go back and see how this all starts up. This was back at about the 14th position or so. Stout's on the outside, getting passed by William Hale. He lets one William go, the other William comes through, and looks like he's going to slide up a little bit, and they're going to make contact, and bam. I mean, Stout could have gave a little bit more room on the outside, but he has the prerogative to hold his line there, and the 11 got up into him, and bam, there's the caution. So caution number 1 on the track, lap 33 here at the Texas Motor Speedway.
It could be a case also, when you get on the inside of someone, the car will tighten up quite a bit. So he got that pretty quick, but it may have been a chance he could have gone a little tight there. But it was definitely a tough lick, though, for William Long.
Yeah, tough break for him as they have no resets either in this Cup Series. So his night is likely done, or he's going to be sitting there for about 30 minutes or so. As the leaders come to pit road, we got pit stops.
Probably going to be 4 tires throughout the whole field.
Yeah, it looks like 4 tires for everybody. One car is down there towards the, looks like Gagne might have took out his left crew. Oh, Aaron Richards, that is not how you do it. Amaker going to win the race on pit road. Aaron Richards tried to go backwards. We'll have to pick on him for that one.
Looking at that.
After we show a replay on pit road, there goes Aaron Richards. I kind of want to laugh at this. I feel bad. I kind of want to laugh at it, though. Oh, contact there. The 23 of Shipman gets into the 12, and that actually looks like cost him some damage.
And he's coming back on the pit road.
Yeah, you see the heavy nose damage there on that left side in the Marines car. That's going to cost him a few seconds of damage there. You see heavy damage on Nate Trito. He's had an incident or something on the track. The 19 has, so a lot of cars involved in this wreck, and I think we're having a little fun here for a second. Let's grab the boss and let's bring him up here in the booth for a second. Mr. Donathan running tonight. Rick Donathan, Chris Scott, you get a copy?
Roger.
Rick, what are you doing driving a cup race?
Well, I'll tell you what, I earned a ride here this week. The review board explained to me that I've been doing pretty good, need to get a shot, and Firehouse Subs stepped up to the plate, got me a good sponsor here this evening, so we're going to try to do our best and put us in at least top 10 tonight.
I'm assuming this reviewing board didn't review your deal before the truck race, I assume, after you went cutting the grass.
You know what? Troy Built has really been behind me on cutting that grass out there. They make some excellent mowers there for the Xfinity Series. So I appreciate you opening that spot for the sponsor there. So Troy Built, way to go for cutting grass. But here this evening, we're going to be hopefully having a good time in the truck this evening, eating some Firehouse Subs.
Oh, you're better than Carl Edwards at the sponsor plugs. Nice job there, buddy. While you're down there, we wish you the best of luck, obviously, and tell Aaron to keep it straight on pit road.
Roger that.
Good luck, Rich.
Yes, sir, and thank the viewers out there for joining in with us this evening.
All right, Rick Donathan in the 33 Troy Built car tonight. I got it mixed up. He's in the Firehouse Subs car tonight. Troy built his car last night.
Was looking back at the replay, when that wreck happened off the 2, Stout got all squirrely trying to recover in the turn 3, and Trino had nowhere to go and smashed the rear of Jason Stout's car.
Well, that would explain the damage on the 19 then. Well, Brett, we're going to sit back here, lap number 36. I think we're going to go wide open here with the fans. So sit back, turn your speakers up, and let's have some fun. ever mention that's my favorite part of the race right there?
You probably have.
Well, we got a new leader up front. Daniel Eberhardt has moved it to the lead. Tyler Herr up to second. Hugo Lindner back to the third position. Eberhardt able to take the lead there on about the second lap. As that makes our fourth lead change, you see Tyler Herr looking to make a move in at 97. He's definitely making Darren Sizemore's ride look pretty smooth this evening.
Well, they're fighting for the lead. There's also a battle back here for 11 and 12. Aaron Richard, Dylan Bird, and the Crimson Tide Chevy, and William Hale also in the mix as well. As the leaders, you said, are real close.
Hey, Hale, a little bit of right side damage on that 62. Not sure that where he got that from, but there's the Roll Tide machine to 50. As you mentioned, Dylan Bird, he's going to lose a spot. Josh Lambert there in the 21, going to go to his inside, take a spot also. Three laps to be completed next time by the 250 here, and the race is only 250 again. Race number 6 of the Cup Series from Xtreme Motorsports 99. Reviewing a little bit of the season as we go. Only 3 winners so far in the season. Jeffrey Greek with 3 wins. Daniel Eberhardt with a win at Vegas, and of course Chad Osborne winning that wild race at Daytona. In case you don't remember that one, that was one where the leaders took themselves out in 2 consecutive cautions to end the race, and Osborne ended up smashed up and in victory lane. But Eberhardt winning at Vegas, and then Creek has won the last 3, looking for 4 in a row tonight. And he has slowly worked his way up to the 6th position now. So Jeffrey just kind of easing his way up there.
We had an issue in the back of the pack. Rick Donovan got loose down a 4, slid in the grass, and then smacked the inside wall. So he's on pit road for an unscheduled stop.
Did I not just tell the man about going through the grass?
Yes.
Let's see what happened to Rick. Oh, he already had some heavy nose damage there, so let's back up a little more. Rick making his debut this evening, and he's pushing the 99 down the back straightaway there. And he gets Shipman to his inside. Almost a little contact there. Shipman lets him in line. Oh, wow. I don't know if Rick was not happy with the 99 or something. Oh, boy. Ooh. A break there for him. I might have put the kibosh on him. As lead change.
Hugo Lindner just took the lead from Eberhardt. He got right up close to him, got the inside, but now Eberhardt maybe looking to challenge back. He's on his bumper, and he's going to stay in line.
Well, Hugo Lindner is putting this show on tonight in that 77, worked his way from 3rd to 1st there the last few laps, and back to the lead he goes to move the 77 to the front. And a battle for 3rd, Amaker going to go by Tyler Herr, and then a battle back here for 5th. There's Creek.
He bowls by Brian Smith, and now Mike Roger looking to go inside, and he'll look low, and he's going to have a corner on him. Smith going to hang with him, but it's going to be a losing battle. As now Ken Bonds Jr. may look to pounce, but Smith does get back in line, so move Rominger up to 6th.
And Rominger up to the 6th spot, so Brian Smith going to fall from about 4th to the 7th position now in that 34, that Pepsi car, and Ken Baum Jr. breathing down his backside there. Get the 09 of Gagne, Aaron Richard back there in 10th. He's still recovering from his little pit stall doop-de-doo. Shipman looks like he's got 90% of that damage fixed. I still see a little crinkle up towards his hood on that 23. That's probably making him a little tight there. It's the 21 at Lambert back here, the 12 of Sanchez, Dylan Bird. There's the 99. Being driven by Justin Walter in the 16th position. And he is the last car on the track right now. Everybody else behind the wall.
Had a little bit of a scary moment out too. Daniel Eberhard had a big run on Hugo Lindner, but he had to check up out of turn 2 and got loose. So Eberhard looking to pounce.
That'll definitely happen at a track like Texas. I mentioned turn 2 how it goes from 24 degrees to 5 just like that, and it can definitely bite you when it's over with. Eberhard thought about taking a peek there for a second. Not able to do so. Everybody pretty much just kind of riding. You see Shipman, he's going to go by William Hale. So move Wee Wee up to the 10th, 11th position now.
Brian Smith looking back to the inside of Mike Rominger for 6th. And he got him, and he'll fall back in line in front of Ken Baum.
There you go. Some great racing throughout tonight. Battle up there, Jeffrey Creek. He's going to make this change for position, move him up to 4th.
What I've been noticing here from Eberhard as this battle for the lead, that's going to come on some lap traffic. He's starting to back off his entry in the corners a little more than Hugo is. Especially in 3, and he's been able to keep that car on the bottom a little better than Hugo has. Which is kind of looking like why he's getting those runs up, but now they got William Longham has this could play a monkey wrench in the things.
Well, that's what it's all about, is just changing the guard of what you're doing. As you see, William Long is back on the track in the 11. He's obviously multiple laps down, but you got to make adjustments off of what others are doing. You see what they're doing to beat you, and you got to make that change and go do it yourself to try to beat them back. And that's where you see Eberhard just kind of sitting there following the 77 the whole entire time. And it's helping him out.
And the next lap car they're going to catch up on is Rick Donovan up ahead. So it doesn't matter where they catch him at the proper time here. Maybe Eberhard can take advantage. Eberhard got a very good run in the center of 1 and 2 that time. Had to check up a little bit. Let's see here if he can maybe do that same thing in 3 and 4 and maybe get to his inside before they get to turn 1. They're coming up on Donovan real fast.
Yeah, Rick will get out of their way.
Hugo had to go low that time. He's going to really drift up. Eberhard almost got in the back of him. And Amaker had to go real low to get around Donovan, but Eberhard over the back of him.
Yeah, Amaker's off the pace or something. William Amaker in this 69. When they come to pit road, not sure if he has a personal issue or something he has to take care of. I'm trying to remember. I know there's 1 or 2 drivers here at Xtreme where there's times where they might get called into work or something. I know I've had that issue before myself. So we'll have to see here if Amaker's going to be done or if it's a scheduled pit stop or what.
Wouldn't think it'd be, but who knows?
He's getting right side tires right now. Four tires fuel and he's gone. Interesting.
Yeah, must be doing some different strategy or something. We're gonna see how that plays out.
I wonder. I don't think he got the wall. He was pretty clear of everybody, so I'll have to update on that. Well, that's going to move everybody back up, including Jeffrey Creek, who is now up to the 3rd position. Chasing after the 9 now is Eberhard just rides right on that back bumper of the 77.
Eberhard tried to take a wider line that time and again the turn 3 to maybe cut it low there on Hugo. But this is the corner here that Eberhard's been really strong in 1 and 2, but since I say that, he catches that little strip there on the outside and he drifts up and he loses all the ground he made up.
Well, and that's the thing too, you get behind somebody that knows you could lose all the air and all of a sudden you slide up the track, and that's the kind of issue you can have. But nonetheless, some great racing we've been watching as everybody's kept it clean. Only the one caution so far. And that was for a 3-car incident. Nate Trito, William Long, and the 61 of Jason Stout off turn 2. That's been it so far. Everything else has been clean and green. Good battle here for 4th. The 34, Brian Smith. The 2, Ken Baum Jr.
Ken's been running around pretty much behind Smith pretty much the whole portion of this run for the most part since he's gotten behind him. So it looks like now he might be starting to come alive maybe on the longer run.
Baum just kind of riding right there behind that 34. He got a pretty good runoff too there. He might be able to pull aside him here. Let's see. In back there you see Gagne making a move on Rominger. Gagne going to take that spot away from the 4.
It looks like.
Go ahead.
It looks like Brian Smith and Ken Baum are closing in on Tyler Herr, who's in 4th right now. So we could have a 3-car fight for 4th here, perhaps, in a little bit.
You're exactly right. Right there, the 97 of Tyler Herr, as I mentioned, he's subbing for the 97, usually driven by Darren Sizemore. As a matter of fact, let's look up front here. You notice Jeffrey Creek is starting to work his way a little bit towards the top 2. We might have ourselves a 3-car battle for the lead soon.
Here comes Baum on the inside of Smith. He got the run out of turn 2. And Ken Baum will take the number 5 spot away. So Smith tried to maybe cross him over, but I don't think he's going to get there in time to get to turn 1. He'll just stay in line.
Great racing going on. I'm going to take a minute here real quickly to thank some of the viewers we got watching tonight. Not many, but still plenty watching. Bark Kayal, I believe is how it's pronounced. He is watching this evening. Steve Dixon, Mr. Crash Out Steve watching. Damien has returned. 666-42069. Not sure if that's his phone number or something. Dogpatch 1. Dylan Bird watching us and driving at one time. G Vader 24, Opalized, Mr. Petrick watching us, Richard Schwint probably watching us from his work shed out there in the middle of the ranch. And of course, Will Hale 55, not sure if that's William or if that's maybe parents or somebody watching us. So appreciate all the viewers this evening watching us here on For Racers Only TV. We got some fun coming up tomorrow night. Come and join us about 9 o'clock Eastern time. We got some league racing I'm going to be a part of in the Gear Jammers, as it's called. James Williams puts that league on. I'll be racing in that. And after that, going to do some old school racing like we did back in the day, some hosted sessions of fun, and hopefully you can come and join us. I'll be streaming myself, just racing myself, and others will be streaming too, and hopefully you can come join us. As you've heard the news, most of you by now, as we see a battle up there shaping up for the lead, as Eberhard has moved to the front. But Yeah, this is going to be it. After tonight, streaming-wise, for a very long time, maybe. It could be shorter, but this will be the last race you see broadcasted on Races Only TV for a little bit. So we're going to have some fun tomorrow night and celebrate and have a good old time. So hopefully you'll come join us.
Eberhard finally got the run he wanted on the inside of Linder and got by him, but now here comes Jeffrey Creek. Linder looking to the inside, but he'll stay back in line. But now Jeffrey Creek, he's starting to show his muscle. He's going to battle Linder for second, and here he comes.
I don't know if it was a matter of finally getting a run as Everhard or him just going by and say, I need to get away now because here comes Creek. But look at that run. The 42's getting right there on that bottom.
Oh, he got a big run out of turn two. Here he comes for the lead. Can he get a corner on Eberhard? And it looks like he does. Coming out of turn four. Bree's going to have the better line as they go into turn one. Eberhard not going to give it up easy. But eventually that inside line is going to work out for Jeffrey Creek here as they get into turn one.
Creek will get him there, and this might open up for Linder and see if Everhart's going to fill the gap. He will. And there it is, lead change number 7. Jeffrey Creek up to the front. Started in the back and worked his way up there. Still 175 laps to go in this race. The Texas Motor Speedway get a random driver tonight, going to get $10. As for Races Only TV has put the money up, and somebody tonight will win that money in the Races Only TV 250 here at Texas Motor Speedway. And Hugo Lindner's on pit road.
I wonder if he used up his tires just pretty badly, or this could be scheduled. Not sure, but he probably maybe used his tires up. He's going to come get tires now.
That's about scheduled. We went green about lap 25 or so this is about 50 laps. Right side tires going on the 77 here. And Creek going to pull away, or Lindner going to pull away. Let's see if anyone else comes to pit road. Not yet, it looks like. Well, let's see how those fresh tires work and how much time that Lindner's able to catch up here. Because obviously the longer these tires go and the longer these leaders go without pitting, the more time he's going to be able to make up on those fresh fuel goods, as I call them. Creek not able to get away from the 9.
Yeah, Eberhard got right up to the back of Creek. He even took a look on the outside line, but it looks like now Eberhard may have used his stuff up because Creek opened up a pretty good gap. Little less than half a second now.
Yeah, he definitely has opened it up a little bit there, and you see back there the 97 of Tyler Herr. He's still kind of hanging on back there about 2 or so seconds back from the leader as Creek is just stretching and as Daniel Eberhard comes to pit road.
Ken Baum Jr. coming in as well.
The iPod Gaming number 9 on the pit road. Eberhard not having a good night last night. He was Wreck City almost last night, unfortunately. There you see Creek on pit road also. Right side tires going on both. How about 2 tires for Ken Baum?
That's interesting.
It must be Grip City. As others, Rominger, Gagne, Danny Sanchez come to pit road. Everybody going 4 tires and fuel on this end. Still waiting on Jeffrey Creek to come to pit road in the 42.
Definitely gonna have to keep a close eye out on Ken Baum to see how those 2 tires work. He's the only one that took 2 tires right now, and he's actually.
Oh, William Hale got out of shape, hit that apron. Sorry to cut you off there.
Baum took it, he actually leapfrogs ahead of Hugo Linder and Daniel Eberhardt. So Eberhardt right now the big loser in this Xtreme, losing 2 positions at least.
And the leader's going to come to pit road right now. Lap 82. Going to come in. William Hale is going to come in, and oh, did Creek hit the pit wall? He's pretty close to it.
Check the replay. No, he's clean.
Folks, this is not how you enter pit road right here, guys. Earlier we showed you in the race how not to exit. Now we're showing you how not to enter. Oh, no, he kept it off. Creek's going to join the track, and the leader going to be Tyler Herr right now, as Brian Smith is on pit road. Herr with a pretty good size lead over Jonathan Shipman. Aaron Richard in third as Shipman comes to pit road now. Going to get 4 tires and fuel here. As one viewer said on the channel tonight, Mr. Fish is saying, and I quote, skinniest left front tire guy ever. For the 42.
Yeah, must be. Ken Baum Jr., those 2 tires not working out that well, but he got passed by both Linder and Eberhardt, so have to see how this goes for Ken Baum, especially on this, if they keep this long run going.
Yeah, the only thing he can hope for right now is to see how it goes, which right now it's not been so good, but if they go another 20 or 30 laps and a caution comes out, then he can get back on the 4-tire regimen with everyone else, and he's okay in the end. I mean, would I have done it after 50 laps on tires? Maybe not, but that's what you gamble for, right?
Josh Lambert is just spun on the inside. Don't know if he hit the wall or not. Oh, he's smoking badly.
Oh, we got smoking Doritos. Let's see what happened to the 21 as he put himself in a spin cycle. Comes off turn 2 and just loses the back end. Oh, smacks that inside wall hard. That transition at turn 2 definitely gets him. He's able to keep it down on the apron, and that's going to help him not bring the caution now. As I look over at the point standings, Lambert right now is 7th in points. He might lose that now. Matter of fact, he might fall out of the top 10 in points.
Fight is on again between Hugo Linder and Daniel Eberhardt. This is right now for the 5th spot. Here comes Eberhardt once again. He's going to drive it in the free. He's going to take the spot away. Hugo maybe trying to cross him over. Just to run out of 4. Doesn't look like it. And he'll stay in line, so move Eberhardt up to 5th.
So move Daniel up a spot. You see Tyler Herr was on pit road, and Aaron Richard going to lead now. And then once that's all done, it should hand the lead to Dylan Bird. As these pit stops are definitely taking their time to happen as Aaron Richards in now. Tires and fuel for the 48. He's going to leave pit road now. And that should hand it to Dylan. Another lead change here. Everybody just taking a joyous time coming to pit road and getting tires.
Here comes Bird right now. Just slowed up at 3 and 4. Is going to come to pit road.
Dylan Burton, the roll tide machine. And that will cycle everything back around to Daniel Eberhardt, who will be the leader. I'm kind of anxious to see how these tires are going to work out now, because Eberhardt and Lindner, these guys have been on the track for at least 10 laps now, so these tires are going to be a little older than some of these other cars.
Jeffrey Creek is really the big loser right now. He loses 3 spots. Now, granted, one of them was 2 tires in Ken Baum, but he is right now 3 seconds behind Daniel Eberhardt when he came through on that long run and took the lead.
As we come up just shy of lap number 100 here at the Texas Motor Speedway and Xtreme Motorsports 99, the Races Only TV 250 here at the Great American Speedway. Chris Scala, Brett Poncari with you on this Thursday evening of racing. As Linder gets a pretty good run there off of 2. Just going over the point standings entering tonight's race, Jeffrey Creek and Mike Rominger separated by a whole race. 47 points separation between Rominger and Creek. So Creek with those 3 wins in a row has definitely stretched it. Jason Stout, who's had issues tonight, he was 3rd in points. Ken Baum Jr. 4th. William Long, your top 5, he's had issues tonight. So some of these point leaders definitely having their problems.
Got a good group of cars here from 6th on to about, looks like 9th. Brian Smith, James Gagne, Tyler Herr, and Mike Rominger are all fighting for position. Smith just got by Gagne. Gagne's fine about getting him back there, but he's going to drift up, and he'll get back in line in front of Herr.
Yeah, good little battle going on here in the Pepsi number 34, the big car. The 05, this 97 there in the 4. Kanye with a pretty good run. Actually looking for the back bumper right now of the 34.
Little guy got a little tight there. Here comes Herr on the inside. He's for 7th place. And it looks like he'll get him out of 4. So Guy might have a little run on that outside line. He may try to cross him over here. And nope, he'll stay in line. So move Tyler Herr up to 7th.
Herr did a good job just kind of putting it on the bottom there to keep him from making a move like that. And Gagne had to get out of it. Now he's got to put up with Mike Rominger back here in the 4. Everybody else pretty much separated. You get back to these leaders. Eberhardt's kind of stretched it a little bit on the 77. So whatever adjustments Denine made, it has definitely worked as he's got pretty good distance now on Hugo. And how about the 2? Doing a good job on those 2 tires. You mentioned it earlier. Only about 2.5, 3 seconds back is Ken Baum Jr. and he's able to stay ahead right now of Jeffrey Creek. So those left side tires must not be wearing any.
Going back to this battle here for 6th. They're stuck behind the lap car of Justin Walters, and they're really starting to get tightened up now. Smith's going to go to the outside of Walters, but that might be a mistake. And here comes Tyler Herr on the inside. The 99 of Walters throwing a big monkey wrench into things, as Herr will take the 6th spot away from Smith. And they're also close up. And one Amaker is. Looks like Walters got loose there. And looks like now Herr's will get to the inside. And they'll finally try and get by him.
Now, not that Justin Walter has the right to do whatever he wants to do in this kind of situation. He does, obviously, but in this spot, it's, whoa, 3 wide. Oh, geez. Oh.
That was close.
But if I'm at 99, I'm getting out of the way a little bit. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, but he has every right to do what he has to do. Oh, and almost some contact there. Yeah, it's still almost hitting each other.
Almost did hit each other there. That was Gagne. He got too high in 1 and 2 and caught that seam and drifted him up into Walters, but he'll hang on to 7th.
Now, I will say that 69 of Amick, remember, he was the first one to pit on tires, so those are older. That's why he is falling back here. Those older sets of tires now. That 69 kind of regretting the early pit stop. How about a battle back here? Let's go even further back. The 12, the 62, the 23. Play those lottery numbers tonight, why don't you? Battling for the 11th position here. William Hale got inside of Danny Sanchez, the 23 of Shipman. Finished second last week in Martinsville.
Shipman slid out of 2, goes to the inside of Hale. The man known as Wee Wee. And he's going to clear Hale out of 4.
It's funny, I was joking with the guys a couple days ago as I was traveling back from Florida and stuff. We called Jonathan Wee Wee, but yet there's a gas station called Wawa.
There's a town just up further in northern Ontario called Wawa.
You learn something every day, people. So that pack is broken up, and the next battle on the track is going to be for the 3rd position. Jeffrey Creek has caught the 2. Mentioned the older tires that the 2 has on his car. He's done a good job with him here, holding on to the 3rd spot.
And Craig is going to blow by Ken Bottom for the number 3 spot. So
Amateur's on pit road.
So Amaker must be on a different sequence than everyone else is now. He was 8th when he came in for his stop, so he's gonna have to fresh his tires for now.
Yeah, but he's gonna need this cycle to go now because of the fresher tires he's gonna have. What he needs is to get the tires, get everybody back on pit road, and then a caution come out so he can get back with the cycle of the leaders. Because right now he is way off cycle, and as a matter of fact, he's sitting there now. Maybe a speeding penalty for the 69. Last night's winner struggling.
It looks he might have gotten a speeding penalty coming to pit road there, so there he goes.
Speaking of speeding, Daniel Eberhardt has stretched it on Lidner. He's got a good 1.5, 2 seconds on the 77. Eberhardt, winner at Vegas, Texas, kind of a similar track, a little bit higher banked and a little bit different shape, but other than that, a 1.5 mile track. This one fits right up Daniel's alleyway.
Eberhardt was 2/10 quicker than Leonard that time, a 28.59 to a 28.81. Now they may be on a different cycle of pits, maybe by a few laps, but it just seems like Eberhardt can save his tires a little better than Hugo has.
We're going to get an opportunity. We don't usually get to go to the garage much, but I'm going to go down to the garage here. I might regret doing this, but I'm going to. Let's get the 33 here up in the booth with us. Rick Donathan, Chris Scally, get a copy? He might be away at the moment. And we'll check back here with Rick here in a second. But Rick, unfortunately, behind the wall in his debut race tonight. But Daniel Eberhardt, he is gone. I mean, he's out in Plato, Texas right now. Plano, that is. We look at your top 5 on the screen. You see Eberhard and Lindner about 2.8 back. Jeffrey Creek 5 seconds back. And then Ken Baum Jr., Tyler Hurd, your top 5. Brian Smith, James Gagne, as you see Lindner getting a little loose there. Rominger in 8th. Aaron Richard 9th. Jonathan Shipman 10th. William Hale, Danny Sanchez. Walters there in 13th. Dylan Bird and William Amaker there in the 15th position. Some 3 laps down now. Lambert behind the wall, Donathan behind the wall, Long, Stout, and Trito all behind the wall. Chad Osborne, don't think he started in the McWhiney there, however you say that name. He got kicked out early in the race, probably not a part of the league. Watching Jeffrey Creek, he is starting to kind of chomp into the lead that Hugo has on him. As Nate Trito, the 19, going to get back on the track.
Jeffrey Creek is almost half a second quicker than Hugo on that last lap, so he is eating that gap big time right now.
He definitely is. You can see the lead just kind of shrinking there. Creek definitely might be pulling away as he almost shortcutted the grass there. He thought about lawn mowing there for a second, it looked like. But Creek is definitely on the march to that 4-peat. $115 laps complete, still 135 laps to go here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Xtrememotorsports99.com. Make sure you check out their website right now. Some merchandise and great items. I know Rick does a great job with some of the plaques and trophies and everything he has put together. And I know they got their All-Star races coming up here in the very short future. And then not to mention the Road Series. If you're a road racing fan, you're a fan of driving Mustangs and also a fan of driving Mazdas. Of course, their Road Series just wrapped up Monday night. They'll have another season coming up in a couple weeks. Kind of the equivalent of the Continental Tire Series you can be a part of with here at Xtreme Motorsports 99. They race on Monday nights. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of Kevin Ford. He'd be the guy to talk to about that. Kevin, one of the top 5 drivers in all of road racing on iRacing. He's definitely one. If I could sneak him on my road team, I would.
Looks like we get a battle for 4th starting the through. Ken Baum on those 2 tires is getting closed in by Tyler Hurd.
Yeah, you got Tyler, and then you got the fresh tires of Amaker there behind him. Like I said, William just needs this run to continue into more pit stops so that he can get back in the cycle and get that lap back.
And you see Hurd go by. So move Tyler Hurd up to 4th now. As Crick is still closing on Hugo Lindner, but not as much as he was earlier. So that's going to get about a little less than 3/10 that time.
Okay, you see how those fresh tires are going to work. Amaker is able to just fly right by Tyler Hurd. Yeah, this battle here for second slowly coming together. I know Daniel Eberhardt's running. There's only 5 laps away from halfway here in Texas Motor Speedway. Again, just a review next week for the Truck Series. Hope you're ready for this one, Mr. Point Leader. Brett Pancari, the next Tuesday night, the Truck Series at the Dover International Speedway. The 1 mile monster. As you see, Creek going to just drive to the inside of Lindner, and Hugo's just going to let him go. He's like, you can have it. But you and the Truck Series going to be at the Dover International Speedway next week. I know that should be a fun one for you. And then, of course, the Xfinity Series also at Dover next week.
Hugo definitely struggling. He almost hit the wall. He had to back off big time. So that allowed Creek to close in rapidly, and he'll take the number 2 spot away.
So Eberhardt going to continue his march here in the lead, and Creek back there only about 2.5, 3 seconds back. Is the 42. And what I'm noticing in Jeffrey, the different line. Watch Eberhardt here. We'll watch him for a lap, and then we'll watch Creek for a lap. Watch the different lines that Creek is running from Eberhardt on the front straightaway. You got that double dog leg. Normally you come out of 4, you're high, and then you go right, and you try to shortcut it, and you come back high, and then you shortcut it again. Watch Eberhardt. He does the exact usual way. There you stay high, goes through, comes back to the wall, across the line, back to the bottom, back to the top, enters turn 1. So next time, let's watch Creek. You're going to see a whole different line this 42's doing. I don't know how much time it's really making up, but it must be working in some way or another. It's almost like the IndyCar line Creek is running. As you see Danny Sanchez coming to pit road. Creek brings it up to the wall, keeps it on the bottom, but look, stays down there a little bit.
He probably does gain a little bit, but it does gain a little bit, I think, on the running that lower line. It's kind of like a line you would kind of run almost in qualifying. I said maybe probably a little lower than that in the front stretch of qualifying. But it's definitely running a little lower line that time. And we'll see what the... Never mind, I was going to say the laps are over. Here comes Daniel Eberhardt.
Yep, the leader is in on pit road. Jeffrey Creek going to take the lead as the 9 comes to pit road, scheduled pit stops. And this is exactly what Amaker needs to let these cars pit now, get their tires and go. And then he can get back on his lead lap. 4 tires, fuel for the iPod Gaming number 9. He gone.
And Hugo Lindner made his pit stop earlier as well.
So that hands the lead. Jeffrey Creek will now take it. Jeffrey Creek, Tyler Herr, Brian Smith, James Gagne, Mike Rominger now your top 5. As again, we have passed the halfway point, 127 laps in the book out of the 250.
Now the thing I'm going to be wondering here, if I'm Creek, is how long will I be willing to stay out? Because he stayed out for a long time, even when the others pitted, and you saw how far back he was. So I'm wondering, if I'm Creek, unless he's trying to calculate fuel mileage, which you could always figure it out any time of the race, but if he's trying to take out fuel mileage or something, I kind of wonder if he should pit in very soon to try and get the tires and not lose as much ground like he did in that previous run.
Well, and this is, and his Creek comes to pit road right now, as a matter of fact. Good entrance for the 42. That'll hand the lead over to Tyler Herr. As Mike Rominger comes down pit road also in the 4. Creek does a good job staying in the pit lane so he didn't get any damage. You see Eberhardt coming out of turn into the quad right now. He's going to take the lead right there. And that's going to be a pretty big lead for Eberhardt, almost the whole back straightaway. As Gagne comes to pit road.
And that's kind of the thing that Creek made to think about more and more, is that he does leapfrog ahead of Hugo, but the longer he keeps staying out on these runs, as Eberhardt keeps coming in much earlier, the more time he's going to have to try and gain it back on the track. So I'm wondering if Creek made to think of pitting almost right after Daniel pits, he doesn't lose much time.
Speeding police back down again. James Gagne on pit road. And he is sitting there as Tyler Herr continues to lead. Tyler subbing for Darren Sizemore. Made his debut at Auto Club Speedway a couple weeks ago, finished second in the Cup Series. They were doing a tryout for him, and he went out there and pretty good whooping on the field. Of course, Tyler last night finishing second by a foof, literally 6 1/1000ths of a second. And he's definitely looking for redemption tonight here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Want to send a couple shout outs real quick out to iPod Gaming, MDS Home Renovations, and Berkey Painting and Sandblasting, sponsors for Xtreme Motorsports 99. You can check out their website, xtrememotorsports99.com. All these cars sporting decals for those sponsors on their cars. James Gagne with heavy left side damage. Don't know where that came from, but that nose is crinkled up. There's the 2 of Ken Baum Jr. Ken right now in the 8th position. I'm not sure when he'll get to pit road if he hasn't already. There's Aaron Richard in the 48 back here. Jonathan Shipman still there in the number 23. He's actually in the 3rd position right now, so looks like the top 4 cars right now on the track yet to pit, including William Hale there in the 62. These 4 need to pit, and once they do, they'll cycle everything back around to Daniel Everhart.
To answer your question about James Gagne, when he came out of pit road, on the apron he spun in 1 and 2 and hit the inside wall. So that's where he got his damage, it looks like.
That's 2 issues on pit road tonight. Aaron Richard spinning it out of his stall, and then Gagne not able to get out of pit road and smacks the wall. So pit road 101 looks like happening tonight. The question, when does Tyler Herr, Aaron Richard, Shipman, Hale, when do they all come to pit road? And the next question is, will we get a caution before they pit, which would really throw a little wrench in everything. Aaron Richard almost half the track behind. In fact, he's only about a second or so ahead of Jonathan Shipman, the 3rd place car. And Shipman's coming to pit road right now. The 23 is in. So one thing I'm going to look at here closely, Brett, is if anyone can make it another 10 laps. If somebody can get the lap 150 on a tank of fuel as William Hale pits also, you could be looking at a one-stop race from right here.
So basically, we'll have to keep an eye on Tyler and Richard to see if they can maybe perhaps try to do that. I'm wondering if that's what they may be trying to do, or extend as long as they can.
Even if you get the 145, that makes it 52 laps on a tank, 53. You're there. That could be an interesting strategy here. As Rick Donovan, I thought he was about to come back off the track, but he still on pit road there in the 33, unfortunately behind the wall. So Tyler Herr, he is going to be the guy to watch here. He might be trying to sneak a win away from the guys here. mean, from right here, and 107 laps to go. If you could go 54 laps, you could do it. But what you don't need is that old yellow hanky coming out.
Exactly. Which is probably what William Amaker wants to get himself back on sequence, like I mentioned before.
And right now, Tyler Hurd comes to pit road, so he's going to come in with 106 laps to go. And Brent, if you want to take a look real quick, go back and see where Hurd pitted the first time. And that could tell you how many laps he went. Lap 144, Tyler Hurd and Justin Walsh are coming to pit road. Now Aaron Richard, the MDS home renovation, number 48 on pit road. And he comes in at that 145 mark. But he could be another one to watch here on fuel. That cycles everybody back around. Daniel Eberhardt will be your leader.
Based upon what I'm looking at lap times for Tyler, it looks like the last time he pitted was lap 90, for what I'm looking at here.
Which would be about 56 laps on a tank of fuel there.
And in terms of Aaron Richard, the last time he pitted looks like lap 91. So those might be the two guys to watch. They're going to try and steal away here on fuel.
Yeah, I think they are definitely without, I mean, not that anyone else this week has tried to win on fuel mileage and it cost them. But nonetheless, Daniel Eberhardt, he has been the dominant guy up front. He's led the most laps tonight. He has got a pretty good sized lead over Creek. There's Eberhardt, and you see Jeffrey Creek just in the middle of turn 2 right now. Hugo Lidner riding in 3rd right now. Ken Baum Jr. 4th. Tyler Hurd in the 5th position. So he is in the prime spot as William Amaker comes back to him. So William Amaker definitely having issues tonight with that setup or something.
Still wonder why he came in so, especially because he pulled down in the middle of the backstretch. So it's definitely interesting. Like, you almost have to ask him about that. And maybe it could be like some sort of strategy that he knows that we maybe don't know, but like I said, he's probably banking on that caution coming out, because now he needs this to cycle around again, and then hope the yellow comes out.
Well, and right now he's on cycle with the leaders because of the pit stops with Tyler Hurd and Aaron Richard, so he can go to the fuel, the finish on fuel now in one more stop, but still at this point he's so far back, he might not gain any ground. With Eberhardt off turn 4, looking up at Gagne there in the 05. run so far now, going over 100 and almost 130 laps right now in this green flag run. Just listen how quick he's backing the gas. Eberhard, look out. Oh, Levin's in the wall. So Jeffrey Creek running in second, and Hugo Lidner is so a good mile back. He's just in turn 3 right now. Lidner in third. And they got a Ken Baum Jr. in fourth. You see Amaker right there behind him. Tyler Herr in fifth. He's got pretty good distance back to the 34. Brian Smith. And he's got some good distance back to Mike Rominger. So everybody is all spread out. The closest battle is actually right here for seventh between Shipman and Rominger. As I mentioned, only the one caution so far tonight, and that was a 3-car wreck with Trito, Stout, and the 11 of William Long. Yeah, I was trying to remember, like, who was the other car?
Looking at the gap from first to second, Creek is started to cut into that lead. It was 3.7, it is now down to 3.4 seconds between Creek and Eberhard.
We'll have to check on that. As you see Shipman blow by Rominger, who almost got it in the wall. This battle happening right in front of the leaders. Oh, yeah, you mentioned Jeffrey Creek. He has been fast on the long run.
And currently right now there are 8 cars on the lead lap right now. And they're going from 9th to 12th. They're all 1 lap down. Gagne is the car in 12th right now, so he's going to try to save from going 2 laps down.
I'll do another little shout out to some of the viewers watching here. Got some new viewers watching. Absol Cold 33, of course, Fish watching this. DuPont Racing 24 and watching this tonight. Of course, the best chef in town. He was watching this last night, as a matter of fact. I appreciate all the viewers watching this evening. I know one thing we're talking about tomorrow night and the fun we're going to have with the racing. I know me and Fish are working on a little sneaky something, but I can't say what it is.
Creek is really closing in now. The gap is now down to 2.9 seconds. So he's really put on a charge trying to get back up to Eberhard.
Okay, you see that battle's getting tighter and tighter now. The only thing that's really separated these two apart has been the pit stops. Eberhard's pitted a good 5-10 laps before Creek, and that newer tires has done it. That's probably what's been able to make Creek come in now, is the fact that the tires are starting to wear on that 9.
It is the advantage of pitting later. You will have fresher tires near the mid towards the end of the run. But at the same time, you stay out later, you have more distance to cover to try and catch up. So it's really just trying to time what is a good time, like the time is to not lose that much time, but at the same time not have as big of a gap to try and close. It's really tough, especially when you have green flag pit stops.
see Creek still running that IndyCar line, as I'm calling it, that bottom section. Just kind of staying there on the bottom the whole time. And if you're just joining us this evening, welcome into Races Only TV, the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Cup Series, race number 6 tonight. Daniel Eberhardt has led the majority of this race, looking for win number 2 in the season. There into number 9. It's the first season for the Cup cars here at Xtreme Motorsports 99. They started last season with the trucks and the Xfinity cars, and they brought in a Road Series, they brought in a Cup Series, and who knows what else they have in the works. Aaron Richard there in the 8th position, first car a lap down. If he gets a caution, he'll be back on the lead lap. William Hale in the 9th position. There's the 11. William Long back in 17th. He was involved in a caution earlier. Danny Sanchez running in 10th. And back here, Hugo Lindner, your 3rd place car with the 99 of Justin Walter, who has been struggling. He's back in 13th. William Amaker, he's been all over the place struggling, in 14th. And then back here, the car that we're watching closely, the 97 of Tyler Herr, looking to sneak a victory away here on fuel mileage, as we just crossed the 250 mile mark, about 125 miles to go. Brian Smith there in the 34. Dylan Bird there in the 50, running in the 15th position. There's Jonathan Shipman. He's on the lead lap at 6th. Mike Rollinger, Ken Baum Jr. This is a battle for, well, it's not a battle, unfortunately. Ken Baum back in 11th. He is a lap down. And then the 4 of Rollinger there at 7th. So not sure what happened to Ken Baum Jr. And then you got this mess of lap cars with your leader.
Ken Baum came in and made a pit stop a little while ago. So he must be cycled to his stop now. I was just watching between Justin K. Walters and Hugo Lindner. I saw the corner of my eye, it looked like Walters put the dart to Hugo for some reason. It looks like he's faster than Hugo as well.
Did you just reference the dart?
Yes.
We haven't said that in a while. And for those who don't know what the dart is out there, the dart is the front bumper of your car that we reference when broadcasting SRA races for a driver in that series. I'm sure if Derek was watching right now, he'd get a laugh out of that. Is definitely shrinking. I can see where Creek is right now. He's coming out of turn 2. It's only about maybe a second. But he's got a 3-lap cars, and the faster Aaron Richard, the 48 with fresher tires. He gets chopped by the 9. Richard finally getting his nose underneath the 9 is going to go by.
And now put him back on the lead lap.
And if you remember, Aaron was one of the last cars to pit. Matter of fact, he was the last car to pit. So he's got the freshest tires out of everybody here.
Oh, Josh Lambert, he just put the bumper to James Gagne. I think Gagne got tight and Lambert had to check up a bit, so. But that does break him up, this battle here, and now make it easy for Jeffrey Creek to get by these guys.
Yeah, Jeffrey was probably on the mic like, don't do that, please. Jeffrey looking to catch that 9. We should see the leaders on pit road right now. Here comes Everhart. It was like I knew it was coming. So Daniel's going to have to pit one more time at about 25 laps to go. So that just shows you the separation here on fuel mileage. Hugo Lindner leaving his pit stall right now. Here comes the 9 in. More tires and fuel, and the 9's going to pull away.
Going to see how long Krieg will stay out this time.
I mean, if I'm Jeffrey, I'm on pit road pronto.
And that's the thing, like he keeps getting better on those long runs, but every time he stays out longer than Daniel is, he'll lose a bunch of time, and he's gonna try and make it back all up again. That'd be annoying.
Now, if Jeffrey was able to make it to like lap 200 and go on one stop, like this would be the last one, then I could totally understand him staying out here. But he knows he can't make it to the finish. So go ahead and pit now and try to keep that track position. But he knows more than I do. There's a reason why he's won 3 races.
Well, that is true. And we're going to see Krieg come in this time. Well, actually went longer than Eberhard.
See, only about 3 or 4 laps difference. Krieg on pit road now as they come to 70 to go. And hey, you want to take a while and guess who the leader is?
Krieg just left pit road. And here comes Eberhard, so we'll see how much of a gap this time it'll be when they cycle around.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be close. It's going to be a little further. Eberhard able to stretch it on Krieg. But the leader right now, Tyler Herr, he'll go another probably 15 laps before you see him on pit road. If he can get to lap 197 or so, he should have no issue getting to the finish. So Tyler Herr leads. Jonathan Shipman right now in second. And Shipman is one I don't think can make it on fuel to the finish.
Shipman last pitted on lap 140, so it doesn't look like it'll be one that might try to stretch it.
He is. He's shutting his motor off. You can hear it.
Yeah, you're right.
He's realizing it right now. He's like, I better make it on fuel here if I want to get a good finish. I mean, because the only two I know that can make it on fuel is Herr and Richard. Now, the only other thing you can hope for, if you're Daniel Eberhardt, is you can get a big enough lead from driving as hard as you can to where when her pits, you're far enough ahead to get the lead back.
That could be a possibility as well, but you gotta remember also that every time on these longer runs, Jeffrey Creek starts to eat into that lead, so really could be really interesting when we get to the end of this one if we stay green. So looking at the gap right now, I would say it's less than 3 seconds between Eberhardt and Creek. They're currently 5th and 6th right now, but I'm thinking it's less than 3 seconds between those two.
You see Tyler Herr right now in the middle, 3 and 4 as he comes across the stripe, 186 complete. Tyler Herr with a pretty substantial lead. I'm waiting on Shipman to come. He's in turn 1 right now, so he's got 3/4 of a lap on Shipman, and then you look behind him, and there's Aaron Richard. So Aaron Richard's about to come up and yank this spot away from Shipman, which is not what Jonathan needs. Jonathan needs another 6 or 7 laps to be able to make it on fuel.
And we know Richard is almost in the same sequence as Tyler Herr is. So really, he can just run as hard as he wants to within the realms of making sure he can make it, of course.
It's one of those races, you got 2 races going in one. You got the race for the guys that are just fast, and you got the race for the guys that are trying to win on gas. Richard is there. Shipman's going to move high and let him go. Let's check out the difference right now. There's the 42. The 9's over the middle, 3 and 4, so still a good 2-second gap. Matter of fact, let's go through the order. Let's show you where everybody's running. You see Tyler Herr about 16 seconds up on Aaron Richards. Shipman is 3rd. Eberhardt only 19 seconds back from Herr, so there's still time if Eberhardt can stretch it enough. As it's going to be close. However, Eberhardt is right there behind Shipman and Richards, so we'll be able to probably grab those spots when those guys have to pit, and we'll see if they're able to distance enough for Eberhardt to get at least 2nd tonight, if that's the case.
Eberhardt's got like 2 things in mind. Kind of keep it in mind. Like he said, how far he is from Tyler Herr if you get to the end, but like I said, that Jeffrey Creek, you could definitely almost come in and sneak one away from him here as he tries to reel in Eberhardt once again.
I'm actually more impressed, to be honest with you, with the 170 laps we're about to complete under green flag conditions. Only the 1 caution so far, and I go back and look at Martinsville last week, they had 19.
Well, Martinsville, you kind of expect a lot of yells.
No, what are you talking about? No.
But, going back a long ways to a truck race that you and I did back then, there were only, I think, a couple yellows in that one, and that came down to strategy at the end as well between Bordeaux, and I think it was Richardson as well.
I don't remember many Martinsville races, other than one that I won because the guy spun out the leaders and then took me out crossing the line.
And Jonathan Shipman has come on pit road, lap 194. So it's going to be kind of close for him, it looks like, on fuel.
Yeah, him and William Hale are on pit road now. Yeah, so they're going to have to go 55 laps to get it. I'm going to try it one more time here. I'm going to try to get Jeffrey Creek's on the trouble. Oh, boy.
It's Aaron Richard.
Aaron Richard. This changes everything. Aaron was right in front of Eberhardt. Aaron pushes up, gets the wall, about clips Eberhardt in there. Oh, wow. And the laws of physics kick in. Oh, my gosh.
Well, take that fuel mileage game and toss it out the window now.
And we're going to need a gurney, a stretcher, and a few other things out on the front stretch.
And someone replaced that spring that they put in that wall.
My gosh. Yeah, prepare yourself. We're about to ride with Aaron Richard on this one. And he did clip a piece of Eberhardt.
So I'm wondering how much damage Eberhardt could have on his car now, as the leaders are in.
They are on pit road, tires and fuel for everyone. Tyler Hurt's going to win the race easily. And Creek is going to outrun Eberhardt.
But that potentially could be bad for Creek if they stay, especially if he stays side by side with her on this restart. He's going to be stuck at that outside line.
Man, how this changes. Let's go and talk with the 9 of Eberhardt. We'll get his opinion about everything that's taking place now. Get the 9 up here with us. Daniel Eberhardt, Chris Scallon, booth, get a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
How much are you thinking your lucky stars right now?
I'm not thinking them too much. I mean, I got damage out of that bad, and they're saying that my right rear's pretty much smashed up.
Well, I'm going to take a look at it here for you, because I know you did make contact a little bit with Aaron Richard, but nonetheless, that caution, it looked like the way it was all shaping up. Did you think you could have outdone Tyler Hurr and what looked like he was going to make it on fuel?
No, he was going to make it, and, you know, this might set up for another pit stop. I mean, we might run out of fuel right at the end. We might have to either save a little or it's going to make us run out. I don't know.
Well, we've been watching you, and obviously you and the 42 have been by far the 2 faster cars. Now, you said the damage on the 9, and I just looked at it. I didn't see too much. Brett, I don't know if you're seeing anything, but we wish you the best still in that 9, and hopefully maybe you get your second victory tonight.
Thank you.
Daniel Eberhardt in the 9, kind of a little optimistic, but also a little, we'll have to see as he's feeling right now. So going to be an interesting restart as we come up to lap number 200, we'll have 50 to go. And Tyler Hurr obviously had no issues going 50 laps on fuel. I don't think Creek is ever going to have any issues, so I'm pretty sure the fuel mileage is out the window. The problem is, can they make it as far as they can on tires?
Well, that's definitely another thing too. With these tires, especially like someone like say Hugo, early in the race he was great, but I just think he's wearing those tires a lot worse than the others did. If you recall back earlier in the race, Eberhard was eating him for lunch, and especially in 1 and 2. So, wondering if Hugo is hoping that he gets these shorter runs to perhaps get himself back up there, because like I said, he was the fastest in practice and the fastest in qualifying. He may be more suited to more short runs.
We will have to see how it goes. Tyler Herr will be the leader. Jeffrey Creek will be second. Daniel Eberhardt, you mentioned the right rear damage he has now from Aaron Richard. He'll be third. Hugo Lindner fourth. Ken Baum Jr. will be fifth. Sixth will be Brian Smith. And I believe he is the first car lap down now. So, or either that or he took the wave around and is back on the lead lap. So we'll have to see how this all cycles out. But 5 cars on the lead lap as we go back to racing here at Texas. So one last time, let's go wide open again. A lot of things happening up front. Daniel Eberhardt to the lead. I saw Tyler Herr might have scraped the wall a little bit in turn 2. Hugo Lindner up to second. Herr's going to fall all the way back to 5th.
It looked like Herr may have just missed hitting that wall. As here comes Hugo Lindner, looking for the lead on Eberhard. Here he comes inside.
The pole sitter kind of been laying back a little bit, got the caution, and he is going to go by the 9. So new leader here, 45 laps to go. The pole sitter is back to the front, led a good portion of the race early, and is falling back. And now, well, if he can hold off Eberhard here, Hugo going to lead this lap. 45 laps to go next time by. This race is open now for anybody to win. Oh, Lindner!
Oh, Hugo Lund! Oh, he got hit by Sanchez!
Hey, that looks familiar.
On the inside wall. And the green's going to stay out.
I believe a very familiar incident happened like that last night with the 12. I won't mention the other car involved. Daniel Eberhardt's going to take the lead back, and here comes Jeffrey Creek. Tyler Herr going to move up to 4th, and how about the 5th place car, Jonathan Shipman? Eberhard trying to hold off Creek. These are two of your winners, and as I say that, Eberhard leaves the inside open. You'll give an inch, they'll take a mile. Creek to the inside.
It looked like last night Eberhard was kind of going up a little higher and then cutting it down in 1 and 2. But he left the door open and Creek finally gets by.
The lead change again. 40 laps to go. Jeffrey Creek to the front.
Eberhard fighting back. He got the run in the center of the corner like he did earlier in the race when he was battling Hugo. But he's going to back off early and just trying to get a run in the center off. He is on the bumper of Creek.
Tyler Hurd putting in a good effort there in third. The man that was going to win this race on fuel. Unfortunately, got thrown out the window now. He's got to go to war.
Eberhard literally leaning on the back bumper of Creek. As they go into turn 3, Eberhard trying everything he can to get the lead back. But Creek almost chopped it down the inside line, making Eberhard go outside. And we got
Caution
yellow.
out. Caution on the track, and it's Shipman. Jonathan Shipman has spun around at least. Oh yeah, turn 2 got him. Loses the back end, backs it into the inside wall. And caution's out for the third time.
And we pretty much know for sure now you can throw fuel mileage out the window.
Oh yeah, back end just comes around.